be introducing you to the NLS technology. The NLS technology, how it came about, and how the principle behind its operation, and how we are able to use such technology to diagnose some health condition of the body and then treat. Okay, so the NLS device means, the NLS device is called the nonlinear system analyzer. The nonlinear system analyzer. Some call it nonlinear system health analyzer, nonlinear system body analyzer. They all mean the same thing. Okay? But it's trying to emphasize the fact that the analysis is nonlinear. When you say something is nonlinear, it means that the analysis is not a straightforward protocol. The quantum analyzer is an example of a linear system analyzer. If you watch the scanning process, it goes up, down, in 60 seconds. It generates the report of abnormal organs and normal organs, and then we try to infer what could be going on in abnormal organs. But for the nonlinear system analyzer, this science starts where the science of the quantum analyzer stops. All right. The first protocol is that it scans the body and then generates the results of normal and abnormal organs. Organs that are not stressed and organs that are stressed. Okay? And then you go forward to further investigate the organs that are stressed, trying to narrow it down to where the problem is and find the disease name and find the particular disease responsible for whatever symptoms the person is experiencing. Alright? So, that is why it is called the nonlinear system analyzer. Okay, what happens is that it takes abnormal organs on the same software, places it on another platform to carry out further investigation before you now conclude that this person has so and so condition, that person has so and so condition. Okay. Now, having established that, let me talk about the origin of where this technology came from. This technology was originated from Russia. Alright, these Russian scientists were among the first set of scientists that wanted to explore other planet bodies to know whether human beings, whether mankind can exist in other planet bodies. And so, in order to carry out such investigation, they agreed on one fact. And that fact is that every living organism oscillates at a particular frequency. The Russian scientists were the first set of scientists that tried to explore if mankind can exist in other planet bodies apart from planet Earth. Alright? And so, for them to do that, it makes sense for them to agree that whoever they are sending to another planet body should have a clean bill of health. Now, how do they achieve that? They had to come up with a device that can predict the past health history of the person and the future health status of the person, at least for the past 3 to 5 years and the next 3 to 5 years. So that whoever they are sending to a planet body apart from the Earth should have a clean bill of health. Should have a clean bill of health. Alright? So that was the plan. So they wanted to send someone that has a clean bill of health, and that was what made them come together to start researching the technology that they are going to use to produce a device that can gather such information. Alright? And it took them 35 years of research before they could come up with the NLS device. So, in order for them to begin this research, they had to arrive at a unified understanding on which they were going to run their investigation on. And that understanding was this basic fact that every living organism oscillates at a particular frequency. Every living organism operates at a particular frequency. Alright? What I'm trying to bring out here is living organisms operate at a particular frequency. Examples of living organisms are plants. Plants are examples of living organisms. Animals are examples of living organisms. We, human beings, are examples of living organisms. Pathogens are examples of living organisms. Now, the investigation was on these pathogens. Pathogens, where there are specific living organism interests. Pathogens were the living organisms that we were specifically interested in. And they began this research to study the frequency at which each of these pathogens oscillate or operate or generate when they attach themselves to an organ, tissue, or cell of the body. So they took 35 years to carry out all this at different races, different cultures, different continents before they now arrived at this conclusion. Now, in their observation, they discovered that the frequency of pathogens, when I'm talking about pathogens, I mean bacteria, fungi, worms, viruses. Those are pathogens. Their frequencies are usually infinitesimal. Their frequencies are usually small compared to the frequencies of the human being. Alright? And so this enabled them to arrive at a standard universal frequency on which they were going to hinge their research on, so that any other investigation that gets below that frequency will be pointing to the presence of the disease. Alright? So we have a magic number that is called 0.425, which is a standard international frequency for all forms of NLS technology, for NLS devices that you see anywhere in the world. What they are trying to establish here is that if you are investigating the presence of malaria, now, if you pick the pathogen responsible for that, take for example Plasmodium falciparum, which is responsible for malaria manifestation in the human body, okay? If you check the reading, is definitely going to be somewhere below 0.425. Alright? Anything higher than that, we can't conclude that the person has it. That's what this investigation is trying to establish. Alright? So they also established the fact that any organ that is healthy and free from the harassment of pathogens should be in a frequency of 1.200 and above. Now, any organ that is suspected to be functioning on a frequency that is not its own will be going to as low as 0.425. Then you now begin to figure out what pathogenic invasion has happened on that organ, and as you check the list, you figure out which pathogen is responsible for or which condition is going on in that organ. Alright, so those are things that we need to know about the NLS device and the science behind its operation. Okay, now for you to be able to operate this device well, for you to be able to interpret the results, 4 factors you must master. There are 4 factors you must master for you to be able to operate your NLS device, your BIOPHILIA TRACKER device, your Meta Hunter, and so on. Okay, number 1, you must know the right organ to select. You must know the right organ to select. Take for example, if I am having stomach upset, the organ to select may not be my eye. The organ to select may not be my skin. The organ to select should be anything within the confines of stomach. Stomach front view, stomach back view, anterior wall of stomach, and all that. Those are the right organs to select. So you need to know you need to master the right organ to select. If you want to check for prostate enlargement, it means the closest organ for you to check should be the prostate organ, not any other one, but the prostate organ. So that's what I'm saying. You need to know the right organ to select. Number two, you need to know the right platform for investigation. You need to know the right platform. You need to master the right platform for investigation. Right? Now, in the NLS device, there are different platforms for carrying out different investigations. All right? We have the microorganism and helmet platform for investigating microbial activities and helmintic activities. Helminth means worms. Okay? When we are talking about microbial activities, we are talking about the invasion of parasites, bacterial infection, parasitic infection, viral infection, bacterial infection, parasitic infection, viral infections. Okay, the platform for investigating such are the microorganism and helminths. All right, an example of a parasitic infection is malaria. So if you are checking it under a different platform, you can check from now to tomorrow. You are not going to see it there. Okay. Number three is for you to. Number three factor that you must master is for you to know the disease name. For you to know the disease name. The NLS device has its own medical terminologies for some of the common diseases that we know out there. Alright? It may not be the same common word or common term that is used out there. Take for example, someone that has a lady that has fibroid, right? You may not directly say fibroid in the list, but when you see womb myoma, then you understand that it's referring to the pathological activity of fibroid. Okay, so that's why you need to master the medical term that the NLS device calls it in the software. So you know the right organ to select, you know the right platform for investigation, you know the disease name. And lastly, you know how to interpret the test results. Know how to interpret the test results. Know how to interpret the test results. Alright? There are several methods of analysis, about 12 of them that I'm going to show you in the next module. Alright? And their interpretation patterns differ. How you interpret a result of entropy is different from how you interpret a result of NLS, biochemical homeostasis. Okay? How you interpret a vector test result is different from how you interpret a visual analysis result. That's why you need to know how to interpret the result. Alright? When you're able to if you're able to master this four, you will be good in consulting with the NLS device. Alright. Another thing I need you to know that will help you understand how to use this device is this fact. That the NLS device uses numbers, symbols, colors, frequencies. Numbers, frequency, colors, symbols to interpret its results. Take for example, entropy results are interpreted in numbers. Alright? Entropy analysis are interpreted in numbers. CSS analysis are interpreted in frequency. Visual analysis are interpreted in symbols. So you need to know how the NLS device interprets its results. When you know all these things, then you're going to be good in using this device. But don't be in a hurry, just be patient. I'm going to take you through these methods of analysis so that you will know how to interpret each and every one of these reports, and you'll be good. Okay, lastly, another amazing thing that you need to know about this device, the NLS device, is it does not only do analysis. It does not only do diagnosis, it also does treatment. It also does treatment. Some people will say, is this magic? Don't worry, I'm going to explain it to you. Alright? Okay, now know this and know peace. The NLS technology is a product of energy medicine. Energy medicine. Okay? And so, in energy medicine, frequency is what we read. We read in frequency, we interpret frequency, we work frequencies, okay, and we generate frequency. That's what the NLS technology is all about. And so, if we could carry out investigation by frequency, then we can carry out treatment by frequency. So that is how this works. All right. Treatment is carried out by sending direct reverse frequency into an affected organ. You send direct reverse frequency into an affected organ. Right? What do I mean? If malaria parasite is reading 0.424, alright? Let me use the word plus and minus in mathematics. Minus 1 plus 1 is equal to 0. Plus 1 minus 1 equal to 0. What are you trying to do? Somebody is on minus 1. If you want to get this person away from minus 1, if you want to neutralize the negative effect of minus 1, you send a positive effect of plus 1, and it reverses the effect of minus 1. Someone is on minus 1, if you want to neutralize it, you send plus 1. Someone is on plus 1, you want to neutralize it, you send minus 1. That is what metatherapy treatment does, or whatever therapy. There are about 7 therapies that I'm going to mention that is carried out with the NLS device. Alright, but I'm trying to let you know that it is through reverse frequency that you are able to achieve healing. Alright, so what it means is that this organ is compromised. You send a direct reverse frequency, like sending 2 cars on one lane in direct opposite motion. They are going to collide. And as they collide, someone is going to die. Now, it is programmed in such a way that it is the pathogen that will be destroyed when they collide. That is what the various options of treatment carries out when you do treatment with the NLS device. Alright, so I plan to mention that there are about 7 methods of treatment that you will find in the NLS device. We have what we call the autotherapy. That's automatic therapy. What it means, what we do here is that for every, once you click that button, for every organ that it has scanned, it will do metatherapy on it automatically. That's why it's called autotherapy. Okay, so we have autotherapy, we have metatherapy, which is the most common. You click the button, it starts generating a direct reverse frequency and sending it to the affected organ. Alright? Then we also have phytotherapy, talking about plant therapy. Then we have lithotherapy, which is talking about stone therapy, gemstones. Gemstones like tourmaline and the likes, okay? That's what this is all about. So you are sending gemstone therapy into gemstone frequency into the affected organ. So with us, so we have autotherapy, metatherapy, phytotherapy, that's plant therapy, lithotherapy, that's gemstone therapy. Then we have remedy preparation, where you can use water, alcohol, or paraffin to prepare remedy. Okay, you program a frequency into the water, into the alcohol, and the person takes it, and the person gets healing. All right. Then we also have the homeopathic remedy preparation. Homeopathy is another field of amazing field of medicine that is used to heal patients of whatever condition. All right. You can find that science in the NLS. You can find that therapy in the NLS device. Even this gemstone therapy that we were talking about. What does it mean? You see that people they put on bracelets, they put on chain of gemstones, and as they put it on, it's sending frequency into the body. All right. Now, the amazing thing is that all these gemstones are already, their frequencies are already programmed in the NLS device, and so you're able to see this gemstone there, and you send those frequencies on the affected organ. All right. When you do that, like a tourmaline, like topaz, amethyst, and so on, as you send these frequencies, then it's able to do the same thing without need of raw material. Then the same thing with the phytotherapy, plant therapy. Now let me shock you. Do you know that the supplement, the drugs that you take, generates its own frequency? It generates its own frequency. Alright? If you look at the software, if you are using plant therapy, that's phytotherapy to treat, you may see probably something like bitter leaf. Alright? And maybe bitter leaf is good for treating diabetes. So when you click on the image of the plant there, you send the frequency of bitter leaf into the affected organ. So it does exactly the same work that bitter leaf, when eaten raw, will do without need of raw material. I've literally seen this happen. As per you send this frequency to these organs, in similar period of time that taking the raw material, consuming the raw material, and you get the same result. You get it. So this device is an amazing machine. It's an amazing machine. All right. Then we have physiotherapy. We have physiotherapy. So we have, I've talked about phototherapy, metatherapy, phytotherapy, litotherapy, physiotherapy, remedy preparation, and homeopathic remedy preparation. That's 7 treatment options that you can utilize to achieve healing with the NLS device. Is this machine not amazing? It's not something worth having. Okay? So, as a matter of fact, even if you don't supplement it with supplement or drugs and you use just this device, you can actually get your healing no matter how long it takes. I've seen amazing results. Some instant, some took a couple of weeks, some took a couple of months, depending on how chronic or acute the condition is. Right. So what I'm trying to establish is that the NLS device does diagnosis and does treatment. Okay. Now, when it comes to diagnosis, I call this device a complete lab because the information you are looking for in an MRI scan, in a CT scan, in an X-ray, you can find it in this device. The interpretation pattern may be different, but the solution is still the same. The solution is still the same. All right. If you are looking for full blood count, when you are doing a CBC, complete blood count test in the lab, you are looking for information from what we call the eosinophil, the basophil, the monocyte, the lymphocyte, and I think the erythrocytes, and so on. About 5 of them. All right, you will find all these things and even more in your investigation with the NLS device. All right, blood sugar level, mineral level, vitamin level, tumor markers, prostate-specific antigen, cholesterol level, aldosterone level, alanine level, all these things, all those biochemical parameters that you do with blood works, you can find all this information, and their diagnoses have been proven to be accurate. You can get all this information from this investigation with the NLS device. Okay, in pathologies like cancers, enlargements, fibroids, and so on, you can find all those pathologies in this device, and their diagnoses are accurate. All right, so I just wanted to give you a wrap of the features that you can discover with your NLS device.